only that, though, we've also had things that have gone from seemingly normal to suddenly terrifying. However, we're going to find out right now exactly what we're going to be seeing, and right off the bat, we have the hammer. Oh my goodness.
Halt, for the hour of the hammer is upon us.
Well played. Whoa, that is something you don't expect to see in Link's chest. However, this also gives him a fantastic starting weapon, despite the fact that it is a little smaller of a hitbox and there's a little more of a delay between attacks, because it does as much damage as a tempered sword.
That is true, partner. Before we get too far into this, let's give a shout out also to Alvi, who's on our restream.
Yes, Alvi with the boss tier restreams, as always.
And
Unless
Dark Shadows,
but
and Dark Shadows 59 on the track.
Absolutely, making sure to keep track so we can keep running our own mouths while they pick up 10 arrows from their bleeding out uncle. And I got the single green rupee afterwards, too. That is absolutely fantastic, and kycats decides they're going to go straight through the rest of the route while Martakia is going to... did I get that? Yes, I did. Is going to go to the opposite side of the map and start heading towards... Oh, the Forest Grove? Am I seeing this right? That's an interesting play. Maybe they're going to check out the race game? Oh, what am I saying? Of course, they're farming for bombs. A tactic that I keep forgetting about, because in this logic, especially when it comes to open mode, they automatically assume that you have 10 bombs at a time. At any moment, including when you just start up. So farming for at least 3 bombs gives them enough for Kakariko, and Martakia is now making their way uptown, walking fast, faces past as they're homebound. Meanwhile, we got a big 20 over in the chest, or the first chest of the escape sequence. Or technically that's the second chest of the escape sequence, past the uncle. Anyways, meanwhile we just had a pot strategy over there. That was pretty fantastic. Meanwhile, we're seeing, oh, there was something of worth on the race. Either that, or they just decided to go YOLO for it anyways. Both are strategies that have been seen. A quick kill and an extra bomb coming from the green guard. Meanwhile, we have a burrito. And a key.
And
oh my goodness!
Boots in the race.
What are those? What are those? Sorry. Anyways, the boots, indeed. What an excellent find early in the match. Is this gonna be a Stoops jet seed? This is getting a little nervous. They're either going to find a ton of stuff and get deadlocked, almost not actually deadlocked, or they're going to be finding a bunch of stuff and go mode within 20 minutes. Not literally, but let's pretend for their sakes.
Yeah, I cannot blame kycats for heading back and doing the 2 jars strat for ball and chain guard.
Oh, absolutely. And we have the first sword at a minute and 20 seconds. But nonetheless, you are right. The hammer strat over there can get very frustrating when you have to get that close, because you also have to gauge when that mace is going to swing past you so you don't get hit by it on the recoil backward.
I expect kycats is going to head down to do the Southern Hyrule check.
Absolutely valid strategy at this point. Although, if they only knew where the boots were. Oh. Also, surprisingly, this is a quite diverging route from what we've normally seen in the tournament, where most people go up towards the Lost Woods and check Lumberjack Cave just in case.
Well, I expect he'll be up there sometime soon, though.
And with good reason.
Another strat that we've seen a lot during this tournament that haven't seen either of these runners go for is the early Houlihan room.
Oh, that is true. That has come up rather often. Oh my goodness, even
I love
piece
lamp.
Apart, the lamp, exactly. Wow. Also, excellent reference. That was quite an interesting. Oh, we have a map check. We have Crystal 5 at Tower of Hera. Everything is a crystal dungeon in the light world.
Always love to see that. That's
Oh, yeah.
another sign of a possible Stoops Jet Seed.
Absolutely. And who wants to complain about a jet seed? Let's face it. Oh, we got a big 20 from the bottle vendor showing a lesson in pyramid schemes. And we're now going to be seeing what's over in the Thieves' Den. Well, that's technically Light World side of Blind's place.
As well as what's in Mini Moldorm Cave.
Excellent. And we start off with a piece of heart, a big 20, another piece of heart, and a much bigger 50. And cleaning out that bottom area with what appears to be another big 20.
Meanwhile, in Mini Moldorm, we've got 5 bombs, we've got the bow.
Whoa, that is a good find.
We've got a 10 arrow upgrade, we've got a Master Sword, and we've got a 20 rupee.
Oh, wow, that is huge. That already opens up 2 dungeons, possibly 3 if they can find a way up to Tower of Hera, and a Moon Pearl at this point, let's face it, and a glove, but nonetheless.
Dare I to call that Lake Hypelia Cave?
Yo, I like it. Good call. We gotta make that a thing. Meanwhile, the Fisher-Price My First Shield over in the Thieves' Hideout in Forest.
And Cat's heading over to check the Rufus Xavier Sarsarilla's hut.
Oh, I like that too. I like Sriracha. Meanwhile, we're gonna find out what's in the old man's garage. And survey says a heart, another heart, and blue mail.
Well, not too bad out of Shamalama Ding Dong's hut.
No, not at all. I gotta admit, when it comes to Shawarma's hut, that's not bad. Gives you decent health upgrade and a decent damage reduction.
And that would be a Pizza Hut in the Lumberjack Cave.
Pizza. Fortunately, that does suggest that Agna may not be required. We can't guarantee he isn't, but we can at least hope Aga 1 isn't going to be holding something that prevents us from, say, accessing the Dark World from normal means. Say, a glove upgrade.
Or a lunar sphere.
Ooh, that would be pretty intense. Fortunately, though, we still have at least 2 chests.
And Katz is heading for Eastern.
Yep. Oh, speaking of glove upgrades, that's a plus. But as I meant to say before I tripped over my own train of thought, we have 2 chests coming over from Death Mountain, as well as 3 items over here in Palace or Eastern Palace.
I love the Power Glove. It's so bad.
Oh, it totally is. One has to wonder how this game would play by trying to use one, if you could convert it.
My guess would be very badly.
I agree. Nightmare mode. Make it so you have to use the motion sensing.
And a big key in the map chest.
Always a good thing to find when you start off. There we have Martakia getting the bow, getting the arrows, the upgrade, their first sword, and a big 20.
KY can...
Oh, go ahead.
Cats can finish Eastern Palace, which is rare to be able to finish a dungeon this early.
Yeah, this is early and fantastic. Having the attempting to escape the Dark World, or the chance of Aga 1 starter pack just popping up in the middle of nowhere is difficult to expect, but when it does pop up, you have to say to yourself, please give me a Moon Pearl.
That's right, we do still need a Moon Pearl to be certain of saying AGA 1 not required.
Absolutely.
And Martakia over there picks up his banana hat.
And on
And
top of that,
Misery Meyer is green pendant.
this seed's already given me chills. This is going to be a good seed. Whether it's going to be free or trolly, I'm not sure, but it's going to be good.
Well, it is version 26 of the logic, so V26 says do pendant dungeons.
Oh, that's true, it does. We may see a dip into Misery Mire. Oh, and Cat's death warping out of the dungeon, assuming they picked up the last item they expected, or did some counting. And they are going back in.
Like he was.
They just couldn't do the anti-fairy.
It looked like he was. Yeah, he was trying to do the anti-fairy skip.
You hate to see that. And by see that, I mean see that you almost got it. Meanwhile, we're having almost a direct high five. That death giving Martakia just enough time to continue catching up. And once again, we're going to see kycats go around and just throw... Oh! Accidentally triggering 3 skeletons instead of 2. But nonetheless making sure to get out of there relatively quickly.
I do not understand how that room triggers... How that room triggers 2, 3, or 4 skeletons. And how you can get it to not trigger 4.
Realistically, I have no idea. I simply watched a bunch of the semifinals and finals and watched a lot of people on YouTube. Shoutouts to our YouTube audience, by the way. And watched people like ACMLM and Christos and Ben and all sorts of other fantastic racers go up along the wall, grab the pot, go over towards the door, go down, throw it to the right, do the same thing towards the top left pot, and the next thing you know, they only managed to manifest 2 skeletons for some reason, because I think there's something in there that it's supposed to trigger on 3 or 4? I have no idea, to be honest. It's something we're gonna have to figure out from chat. Nonetheless, the point is, kycats made very clean work out of it, and as did Martakia. Meanwhile, with the boots, we're seeing Martakia just truck through this dungeon a lot more significantly quicker. Lo and behold, they also got the big 300, and they are continuing on because they realize they have enough to keep going.
Yep, I mean, it won't be Silver's Armos kill, but...
One could only wish they had the dream at this point of the race.
But still, Armos is not a terribly difficult fight.
Right you are, especially when you have more than enough arrows.
Which Cats is kind of close on that.
Yep, and as I'm seeing, it seems like both of these racers have at least a semblance of the knowledge of the proper setup for a quick kill. Fortunately, Cat's being able to pick up the health along with the arrow upgrade, the arrow refill. Ooh, but taking a hit from the red Igor. Mimic Igor, same difference. Not really, but still. And almost same timing, my goodness. That is a great example of how much of a difference the boots can make to your route.
That is true, partner.
Ooh, Martakia almost getting the complete... Oh, and there's the Moon Pearl! Wow.
And Cat's picking up his lunar sphere.
Absolutely, and this is becoming one heck of a really synchronized race all of a sudden. Martakia is now going over to the sanctuary, finally picking up that GamerCal chest, shoutouts to GamerCal, and dashing straight out of the sanctuary, while I imagine kycats is finally going to head over to Kakariko.
I think that's probably the valid. No, he's going to Link's house.
Yep, surprisingly. Oh, wait. Ah, there's the sanctuary play. Okay. They must have realized, oh, wait a second, and then ran back. Admittedly, something that I've seen many people do, and completely natural when you're just trying to figure out how many things you still have to tackle.
And a bottle coming out of the back room of Sanctuary, as well as a key, so Martakia continues to doing escape backwards.
They're going to be rather pleased when they find that Master Sword in there. Once again, all of these channels, all of these races, you see a semblance of parallelism, but in this case, we are getting a very parallel race. Can't wait to see where this is going to completely diverge. I imagine it's going to be slightly after Thieves Town, when they see what other pendant dungeons are there. Feel free to take an early guess of what you imagine the other dungeons are. We already know Green Pendant is Misery Mire.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna go with the completely Stoops Jet Seed and say that the other two pendants are gonna be Ice Palace and Turtle Rock.
Oh, the dream, though. That would be the dream. We're going to find out rather shortly. Oh, looks like they're making no mistake about not... Oh, wait, no, wait. Cats is going and doing the typical runaround of Lost Woods. Meanwhile, Martakia is actually heading over into the mountain, going to see the old man in the mountain and get whatever the mountain gives them today. I should have said old man, but nonetheless, stumbling on words aside. It's only a matter of time before either of these racers head over into the Dark World. And
well, he's 46. That's not very old, is it?
He's 46? Oh my goodness, well played. It's been a while since I've seen that. Now that I've just laughed hard enough to cough and I had to take the mic down, let's see what we got on Spectacle Rock. Oh, the silver arrows. This is becoming a very, very interesting seed nonetheless. Interesting enough, Martakia doesn't take the moment to head over into the Dark World to at least see what the map's going to lay out for them. But I suppose, in any case, they're going to find out rather soon enough, and maybe they just didn't want to take the extra time when they're going to be in an accessible part anyhow.
Cat's heading into Blind's basement.
Always a good strategy, and soon enough they're going to find the boots, and it is going to be just super speed racing. Meanwhile, we're going to be seeing very soon a shot of the map of the Dark World. I'm going to say Blue Turtle Rock, Red Swamp Palace. Oh, I got Swamp Palace.
And I got Ice Palace.
Oh, that's interesting. That's a turn of events. However, what was number 6?
I did not notice.
Neither did I. I got blown away by the fact that the guesses were rather close.
I was paying more attention to what the pendants were.
Same. Nonetheless, we're going to find the validation arrow and the red ring in the chest game. giving a good old dash to the bully before piecing on out before getting mugged. And now in the bombable hut, we are going to be seeing a 10-bomb upgrade while KY Cats got their lesson in pyramid schemes.
And Cat's taking care of Light World Kakariko as Martakia takes care of Dark World Kakariko.
Gotta love that interdimensional high five.
6 being Turtle Rock, according to chat.
Ooh, that is rather interesting in itself.
Now, let me say this. If you're not following these runners, well, why aren't you following these runners?
Absolutely, they're putting on, and much like any of the other racers that have been restreamed, period, these racers are busting their butts to make sure they not only play a good game, but give an entertaining race to anyone to watch for free. The least you can do is go to their Twitch channels or check them out on social media. Maybe they have a mixtape you want to listen to. You wouldn't know until you checked it out.
And we've got a fire rod in the second room of Thieves Town.
My goodness, that is... Speaking of mixtapes... Alright, bad mixtape joke aside, I've already made 8 times. What else are we going to see? We're going to finally see what's in the library, and it is a big 20.
And there's our validation arrow.
Nice. Validation arrow is best arrow. Meanwhile, we're going up and seeing KY Cat's going to internally wish they'd found this sooner. Meanwhile, blazing through Thieves Town at the speed of sound, we have Martakia the Hedgehog. Probably not a real thing you could Google. Going and just making quick work out of not only the first half, but also hopefully... And can they pull it off? Oh, okay, maybe. Almost. They almost pulled off the perfect pixel to go in the middle of that for Hell Hallway. Ooh. Which is living up to its name right now. My goodness.
Oh, all those Patrick stars just getting in the way.
Absolutely. Who would have known a Nickelodeon-based cartoon turned meme would be such a frustration in 1992 when this game came out? Alright. And much like a bunch of concerts I outgrew, let's open up this pit, and we got a fetch quest!
Do you want to have a fetch quest?
Only if it's going to be mushroom to shovel to powder to a required item. Ooh, to mirror. To mirror. That would be... Oh. If that happens, by the way, I officially apologize ahead of time to the runners. Nonetheless, we're finally getting that map chat from KY Cat. Oh, and Martakia goes down, trying to throw down hammer strats a little too far away from the red dragon heads. And a lot of that time they had made just immediately goes down the window.
Meanwhile, Cats is taking care of the Dark World outside Village of Outcasts.
Ah, that's right. And in the C-shaped house, we will find what they have there today. And it is another Big 20. Big 20s being not only the most common chest item in the game, but also very common this round for the overworld.
So we gave a shout out to Alvi, who's doing our restream a little earlier. Let's also give a shout out to Dark Shadows 59, who's our tracker.
Absolutely. Gotta make sure to give credit to both of them, because without them, we'd be doing over twice the job, and wouldn't be able to sit here and give as much commentary without seeming horribly confused. Fortunately, they decided to make it a lot easier for all of us to understand and provide it very conveniently on Twitch.
And Cat's deciding not to go into Thieves Town, but instead to head down and do the digging game.
Ooh, this is actually an interesting decision on routing because it gets rid of the lower half of Kakariko as early as possible. So perhaps they're going here, possibly to Old Stumpy, and then going back up, because right now, without the power, or without the Titan's Mitts, we're not going to be really seeing what Senior Frog and the Breadsmiths have today. We also can't see Hookshot Cave. Meanwhile, despite all of that, Martakia is going to Blind, and Blind decides to let us know that they got their tires fixed for a flat rate.
And it's a big 20 in the digging game.
Ooh.
Can you dig it?
Oh, five time. I think that's actually more like the 12th time we've seen it so far today. Not specifically from that area, but in this round. Or this seed, specifically. And another big 20!
One from Stumpy.
Woo! Whew.
The couch cash flows freely. Looks like Cats is heading over to do the Cave of Inevitable Disappointment.
Now, you say this. However, we have seen, even in version 26, Hype Cave still lives. The only question is, are we going to see it live in this seed? Is it going to be Hype Cave? Or is it going to be Disappointment Cave? Or one of the thousands of other nicknames people had for it that were really good that I can't remember? Oh, Mediocrity Cave. That's right.
But he had bombs first, so...
I mean, this is a valid strategy if you're trying to get anywhere in Hype Cave.
Oh, this is true.
And we got a blue rupee for your troubles. We have a bomb upgrade, the blue cane, tempered sword, and a big 20. Okay, I'm gonna give that a 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10 would Hype Cave again.
Yeah, definitely would Hype Cave again. Would have recommendations for its improvements, but nonetheless will leave at least a mildly positive review on Yelp. Signed, Link. And we are getting one of the beautiful, beautiful things that you can do in the Japanese 1.0 version of Link to the Past, the Hammer Dash.
And Cats looks like it's heading up to check the pyramid, with a possible trip up to Catfish afterwards.
That is solid when you're trying to get routing going, and the bonk onto the tree to get the fairy is a great way to replenish your life at this point in junction. Meanwhile, we're going to see what is on the pyramid. Would the price have been right for Aga 1? And no, the price was wrong. The price was very wrong.
The price was definitely wrong, Bob.
And now, oh no, bypassing Catfish, we're going to see if that bold strategy plays out. And heading right over into Palace of Darkness. That is
perhaps Cats is going to hold off on Catfish and route Catfish in with Zora and Waterfall Fairy.
You know, that is a valid point.
But yes, Cats can fully complete Pod, so that is a good play, especially with it being a crystal.
Absolutely. Being able to clear 2 dungeons within, say, the 30-45 minute mark is a phenomenally good sign that this is going to be a relatively comfortable seed, at least for the start. However, since we are seeing a lot more of the random items start coming up as, say, big 20s, we can only hope to see some hype items come along before it gets a little too late.
And both runners are in the mullet dungeon.
Oh,
All business in the front, party in the back. It is
I heard someone use that joke. I like that joke. I wish I could take credit, but nonetheless, I like that joke.
I wish I could take credit too. I will give all the credit on that to Dr. Bobtastic.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Shout out to Dr. Bobtastic for coming up for that clever, clever nickname.
And it's fairly accurate too, because the Palace of Darkness is very front-loaded with keys.
Did you see that? Hope you had enough calcium during October the spooky month, because doot doot, we got the flute.
So we'll have a swag duck incoming.
Meanwhile, we're going to see what's over here. Chances are it's another key. And lo and behold, it's a key.
And I'll say this, routing Palace of Darkness without the mirror is just painful.
It really is. It really is. It becomes something that goes from easy to downright frustrating unless you have a very solid understanding of the routing. Very interesting, speaking of which, decisions for routing Cats is going for. I've never seen this pulled off specifically without the boots, but it does seem to makes a little bit of sense. I probably would have started over on the left side nonetheless, but it does at least guarantee everything is unlocked before going up towards the vanilla big key chest.
That is true, because he could keylock himself there.
Absolutely, and that is never a fun experience. Oh, Cat's looking for items and realizing, unfortunately, the place was robbed dry. Throwing a bomb right in time to make sure to get that open before they transition to another room. Very excellent use.
That was an interesting strategy in the collapsing bridge room from Martakia.
Absolutely. Gotta give credit where it's due, that is clever. And the big key in the basement. Going to be picking up plenty of blue rupees in the meantime. And
there are very few sounds in this game that are more satisfying than dashing through a line of rupees.
Oh, you are correct. And the remaining keys picked up. Cats is on their way to taking care of the other half of the dungeon, and then finally to the Helmasaur King themselves.
As we mentioned earlier, not having silvers for Armos, not having the dream there, they also don't have the dream yet here, having silvers for Helmasaur.
Oh, that is the dream. That, you are right. If they had the mirror, they could pull it off. Unfortunately, not today. Ah, there we go. We're going to see the Beatles knocked down in the best Link to the Past equivalent of $1 Bob that I have ever seen. And meanwhile, through the collapsible bridge, we're going to see how Cats takes care of that. Unless I'm horribly mistaken, did I see Ether Pendant and Fire Rod get picked up recently?
Fire Rod, definitely.
Oh, right, Fire Rod was Thieves' Town. Fire Rod was like the second chest in Thieves' Town, that's right. Meanwhile, a swift arrow shot. Using the hammer to bash in some skulls, and getting on their way to the rest of the dungeon, before they have to go through what feels like one of the longer cutscenes in the game, although it may still just take the same amount of time.
It can't be a longer cutscene than the one in Misery Mire.
Oh no, that has to be the longest.
Or at least it feels the worst.
You can almost play the Jeopardy theme through Palace of Darkness, but I believe you can complete the Jeopardy theme in Misery Mire. All of you musically inclined folk, feel free to try out for yourselves.
Chat says that it is the same length of time as the one in Misery Mire.
Ah, good to know. Cat's unfortunately seeming to have a little bit of difficulty with the maze, or at least the routing of said maze. An interesting...
I can't blame him. I can't blame him. I still have trouble with that dark maze in Pod.
I mean, I totally can relate, because before I practiced it within a healthy amount of time, I would always get lost in it. And now I just have a couple of hiccups every now and then when I go through it without the lamp. But nonetheless, rather surprising to see how much that Cats had solidly memorized. But that wasn't pulled off. It was just not bad, of course. Just surprising. Unexpected, that's the word I'm looking for.
And Martakia in the Helmasaur King fight.
Doing a pretty decent job with the sword strats. Oh, I was gonna say, pausing with the select button to quit at this point? That... Yikes. Meanwhile, Gravedigger goes down because the Helmasaur King is now exploding.
And that was a beautiful Helmasaur King fight.
Absolutely. Very clean, especially with wooden arrows. Picking up the second crystal and being on their way most likely to activate their flute.
I think we can see in this run, flute was here in Palace of Darkness, to answer chat's question.
It was, and in fact it's going to be in the room kycats is now going to get it in. Bam!
There is a way you can can use the boots to bounce yourself back up from between the two rows of blue blocks onto that ledge where the flute was.
Oh, that's right. That's a fantastic strategy to witness. Another interesting thing to witness, arguably fun to watch, not experience, would be trying to dash off of the ledge and being bonked back up there by a couple of the beetles. And it seems like Martakia is now heading over to Catfish. The main question here is going to be, will that be fruitful, or will Martakia get catfished by the Catfish?
Well, it could go either way.
Oh, absolutely. We'll be finding out rather shortly.
Now, these Dark World Octorok things they deal 2 hearts of damage if you're in green mail.
Ooh, and that is never a fun thing to experience, because if you didn't like the fact that the crabs took out 2 hearts, now imagine crabs with projectiles, oh, and a big 20 coming from the Catfish. Ooh. That is never a fun experience. Getting the heart and a full magic bottle before heading right into Helmasaur. Good thing you're going to be using all of that magic, Kappa. Relatively clean fight coming out from kycats. Using the vanilla hammer strategy, just going and making sure to turn as quick as possible.
Now, when
Meanwhile-
I was younger playing this game on my old Super Nintendo, back when the Earth cooled and dinosaurs roamed it,
Yep. And some guy named Jesus owed me $20. I remember.
I used to knock his. I used to knock Helmasaur King's mask off with bombs. We've got fake flippers from Martakia.
Very nice. Also, bomb strategy. Interesting. And Martakia having no luck with the normal flippers, but deciding, you know what, I'm going to go up here with the Moon Pearl, and we're going to walk on water. And let's find out today what is going to be in the waterfall. It's a big 20 and a bottle with a B in it. Praise be to B-Torb. As kycats saves and quits after getting their second crystal.
Now,
Go ahead.
I have a question about the walk on water glitch.
Sure thing.
Does the walk on water, do you still have an instant death if you get hit by something if you've activated walk on water?
No. With Walk on Water, it literally just stops you from being able to move, but you can use Swag Duck to fly out or save and quit. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe it's because it's accidentally taking... Ah, that's where Ether was. I should have realized it was in the Bonk Rock. But for some reason, I'm assuming it's because the land, or the water is being considered land. It doesn't try to move you anywhere because it thinks you're on land, but it still somehow triggers the relocation sequence, so you're kind of just stuck. Now, that's me just assuming, so full transparency, no idea. But that's my assumption until someone can prove it otherwise, which they most likely will, because there's a lot of people knowledgeable about this.
And it looks like Martakia is heading to the Zelda rescue part of Escape.
Ah, very nice.
And Cats activates his Swag Duck.
Swag Duck emerging on both Racers' ends, and the big 20 chest once again coming through. And we're gonna see where Cats goes with this one today.
Cat's heading up to Death Mountain.
Ah, taking care of the old man in the mountain. Because that was the sequence they had not gotten yet.
Yes, he had not done that yet.
Martakia taking care of that blue guard and getting a burrito out of the process. Sounds a little Hannibal Lecter if it's... Anyways.
Quid pro quo.
Well, I assume that's what 10 arrows was the quid pro quo. Quid pro quo. From the old man. Ooh, one pot and then the hammer. Very effective and quick strategy. And there is the sword upgrade. We now have the carrot sword for both racers. Remember, eat your vegetables, kids. And we're going to see where Cats decides to go after that. Are they going to save and quit? Are they going to attempt to go into Spike Cave? They're sitting there and thinking. Oh, they're going for it. Let's see what happens. Nope. Disregard. They're taking Swag Duck right on out of there. Over to Kakariko to double-check Sick Kid for the bottle, only to find out Sick Kid has a big 20. Nope, kycats is actually going into, possibly Lost Woods into...
Possibly Thieves Town?
Possibly. That, or we could be seeing a very rare checking Skull Woods play before doing anything else. As we've seen in this current logic, that has been entirely possible. For reasons unknown.
And a high five from our competitors, as they are both heading into the same portal at the same time.
Gotta love when they synchronize.
Martakia's got to be doing Skullwoods.
Yeah, at this point, this seems like not only the current decision, but also a smart play to get it as far out of the way as possible, especially with the Fire Rod coming from Thieves Town.
As our tracker points out in chat, it's V26 to Skullwoods.
Exactly. And the first chest in Skullwoods is a small key.
Well, that means that Martakia will not have to do the big room that's guaranteed to have a small key. Second chest also a small key.
Always convenient to be able to bypass that room just so you don't have to get hit by Gibdos on the way out. And the hook shot! Wow, version 26 once again showing it's Skullwoods, or it's V26 to Skullwoods.
Hello, hook shot.
That is one beautiful, beautiful progression item to see, especially after clearing a lot of Death Mountain, but not being able to go to the other side.
Taking a few shots from Martakia to get that second Gibdo down, though.
Sometimes aim is not perfect.
Nope, and it's not like I could guarantee doing a whole lot better.
And there's the big key, also Sam.
That's why I'm not racing in this tournament. I'm just commentating.
I just expect to finish in this current bracket. Nonetheless, we're going to see them decide to go and take the key and go and try both Mothra as well as the other chest. Not a bad move considering it would still take plenty of time to go over to the big chest just to open it to find out whether or not they're getting an item. Well, going right on ahead and just saying full YOLO mode, kill Mothra, worst comes to worst, you get a crystal, and kycats86 goes down in Hell Hallway. Press F to pay respects.
That is a terrible room.
Oh, absolutely. Hell Hallway is one of those names that you get out of not only just example, but reputation. Going and picking up the one safety heart that's over there, a valid decision, especially at this point, when you have to go through the nightmare that is Hell Hallway. As we saw, Martakia also had quite the problem with it. Speaking of problems, it's time to fight Mothula.
This fight is never easy.
Meanwhile, Martakia makes us look like we're liars, because I was about to agree with you.
Well, it's a poorly programmed fight to begin with.
Absolutely. And the RNG on top of it, all the lag that it also produces, it's a nightmare if you're doing anything except perhaps max damage that you can.
Cat's down to a half heart over on his side.
That is a bold strategy, but we're going to see how it pays off. They do have the Canis Maria and a green jar if they decide to play it extra safe.
You mean the Cane of Brian?
Yes, I did mean the Cane of Brian. I did mean Blue Cane. Oh, and it's a swag net. We now know they can defeat Aghanim, Kappa.
Cat's realizing that the only potion he's got is green goo.
On the bright side, it would save them through Hell Hallway. On the downside, it only does replenish magic. Martakia making a smart play and going with the item that they picked up to be able to adventure through light side of So, east side, Light World, east side, Death Mountain.
Well, there's 7 items in this cave.
Absolutely, and every chance you have to take, you might as well take it when you get the opportunity. And who's gonna really say no to 7 items unless they're already in go mode? And there's the Golden Glove, speaking of opportunities.
And a shield upgrade.
Absolutely. One more and they have the Riot Shield, and then won't have to worry about the Laser Bridge nearly as much when it comes to Turtle Rock.
That laser bridge is equally terrible.
Absolutely. It's nothing you'll want to play around with. That was that room almost entirely heart containers? That looked like 4 pieces of hearts.
Yeah, hearts and a
An
little bit of money.
Oh, it was money, I see. Nope, we're going to see the chest that was... Oh, it was a compass. Not a whole lot of items outside of what we already found from, say, the fire rod.
And
Showing up.
It looks like Martakia is heading over to do Tower of Hera.
Nice, being able to make that clean sweep right on over afterwards.
I did not notice, did he do Spiral Cave?
I do not believe so, because I imagine we would have seen him coming back up Death Mountain at this point, if he had pulled off Spiral Cave. Because Spiral Cave, even with the boots, is another couple of extra seconds. Meanwhile, the blind fight...
Now, of course, Spiral Cave without boots is
a stroll. It's a long walk off an even longer pier. Meanwhile, Kana Brian strats coming right on out, showing their worth. And with a quick magic jar refill, we are just watching cats go in, press Y, spin to win, and suddenly, it's like a shampoo because no more tears.
That is a beautiful, beautiful strategy for the blind fight when you're low on health.
Absolutely. Oop, meanwhile, we have the compass. No key. We're going to find out. Is this an item? No, that means there is guaranteed an item in the basement at this point. That's going to be, well, that's a time sink. It's always a gamble to take, too, because you can never guarantee whether or not that's going to be a required item. However, considering they have nothing to advance anywhere else, it might be worth the risk.
Well, he can do Dark World Death Mountain.
Oh, that's right, because he picked up Golden Gloves.
He does have the Golden Gloves.
That is a very valid point. That does open up a bigger opportunity. Ooh. Speaking of things that were big, that almost dropped several floors down from Moldorm, showing a little bit of mercy today, not being nearly as Trolldorm as expected.
Cats is running around in Skull Woods.
Cats is exploring Skull Woods after going up on the left side instead of the right. The amount of times I can admit that I made that mistake myself. Meanwhile, camaraderie aside, Martakia is heading down to the basement, and we are going to see, are they going to just dodge, or are they going to go with... They went for the going to sit down and read a book strat. They are going to get comfortable, read a short book like War and Peace, maybe the entire series of Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Going to sit there, have some tea.
The entire Wheel of Time series.
Oh, that's also a good one. Good light reading. Cats dropping in, missing 2 chests. Fortunately, we know there was only one item that they were missing. Unfortunately, we also know that one item, if I'm not mistaken... Wait, no, they didn't get the hook shot from there, did they? No, they got it from... Now I can't remember where they got the hookshot from in Skull Woods.
It is the that time where we figure out what the runners still need to be in go mode.
You are correct, because we're about to find out what is necessary over at Turtle Rock. Do they have the medallion that they need? Because if they have the medallion that they need, we now have an answer. If they don't, it's that +1.
Martakia now heading for Spiral Cave.
Gotta love the hookshot strat just to get away from those blue jellies. Oh! KY Cat's going down again, unfortunately. Press F to pay respect. And the Ice Rod in Spiral Cave. Thank goodness Martakia did not forget.
So now it looks like... really what Martakia needs for go mode is Cane of Samaria plus whatever medallion is necessary to get into Turtle Rock.
Yep. That is indeed the mystery. Fortunately, we're going to find out relatively shortly.
And either the book or the mirror.
Yep. I was gonna sit there and I went, there's one more item they need, and it's either the book or mirror after that. And survey says... Oh, heart piece. Oh, but half magic. Not a bad consolation prize.
Survey says Super Bunny Cave is worth it.
Oh, absolutely. And we're going to see an intel check real quick. And we have... It's Ether! We are literally 2 items away from go mode.
Now, I would say I would want mirror, even with the book. I would still want the mirror. Because I don't have enough confidence in Silverless Ganon. I don't have the timing.
Gotcha.
But I'm sure both of these runners are perfectly capable of Silverless Ganon.
That is one of the things that a lot of people need to keep in mind when they enter a tournament. If you're ever considering the tournament, do try to pick up the practice ROM that you can definitely find in our resources in the training room over in the Link to the Past Randomizer Discord. And feel free to give it a try. Feel free to look up some of the tutorials, give it a shot, and remember, it's easier to practice than to feel embarrassed during a stream.
I'll tell you, the community's been the community is a very welcoming community, because I just recently started doing Randomizer, and I've gotten so much help from all these nice people here that that made me feel very welcome.
Absolutely. From so far, my experience in this community has been a lot of people have just been pretty calm and laid back and overall understanding and cool. For the simple fact of, it's just Randomizer.
Oh, KY Cat's hit with the Wall Master.
Unfortunate indeed, however they at least have a chance to get more magic now before Mothra. But yes, definitely mirroring your agreement, this community has been nothing short of pretty awesome. Meanwhile, we're finally going to check Agana's cave, aka apparently Mikan's cave. And it is a piece of heart.
Yeah, once again, Agena is useless.
Just like that one quote someone said, X place is always useless until it finally has something. Ooh, getting fire blocked by the skull and not picking up the full magic in time. Meanwhile, we're finally getting a check on Ice Rod Cave. And survey says... That was a little early for me saying survey says realistically. And it's 3 bombs. Desert Hobo. Oh, that is a good name for Agana's cave.
And fetch quest turning in finally as well.
Heck yeah, let's see what it's going to be. And it's... the mirror! Oh, that is...
That is a beautiful thing to see.
Absolutely. And the polarity between finding the mirror and the crushing feeling of seeing kycats deal with another wall master. This seed is getting mighty ridiculous, and I like every second of it.
Mire Shed?
We had a very smooth transition between the little blue and orange balls of fire. Mire Shed, however, proves to be rather disappointing. However, this may be a check directly into Checkerboard Cave. Or I can prove myself wrong and press F to pay respects for kycats. Oh my goodness. That is such an unfortunate turn.
Oh, those Gibdos are rough.
They are. To be absolutely honest, when you are not used to the Gibdos, or if you're just having an off day, or they just happen to have the God RNG, they are on you like a starving person on a ham sandwich.
But cats now with sword beams, they'll take a whole lot of hits with the sword beams, but
never underestimate the power of spite.
Never underestimate the power of range.
That too. Oh, barely missing the curtain and getting bunny beamed. Fortunately, not taking any damage out of it. Very, very nice dodging from that. Now let's see how they turn up. And it seems they managed to have the Wallmaster fall away in time, getting a little bit of a peck on the cheek from the spike wall. And there we have Mothula in their glory. Making sure to take very good note of you can't do any damage if you bonk them into a wall while you attack. Overall, despite their troubles, a very solid Mothra fight from kycats.
Yes.
That's got to take the tilt anyone's having and then slowly reverse it a little bit, because there's nothing more relaxing than finally demolishing a difficult boss.
Agreed.
Speaking of bosses, we're now seeing Martakia go up with the mixtape rod almost to Lamolis. Cats is going back in to double check what the item is in that chest, and they're going to find out it's the swag net. In the event they come across fairies, that's going to be very fortunate and in their favor. Cat seeing enough people run the randomizer to know the pots are right there, and picking up a hurt in the process. Definitely not a bad thing. Oh, narrowly escaping the Gibdo shot.
And Martakia just barely missing getting a one cycle on land mows.
Oh, that in itself You gotta hate when you miss it, but it feels great to finally get him.
And Cat's heading up to do East Death Mountain.
That's going to be one fantastic relief when they finally pick up their Gold Glove, their Titan's Mitt.
And gets his hookshot speed.
Oh, hookshot speed is a fantastic little minor glitch. Of course, anyone being not initiated to this, shoutouts to YouTube. Minor glitches are technically allowed, such as the hookshot speed, such as, if I'm correct, Super Bunny, and such as fake flippers, but no major glitches are indeed allowed.
Spin speed is another one that is allowed, but
yes,
I have no idea how to get spin speed.
It's one of those things you gotta take practice with, and admittedly, sometimes it's a lot easier to just take the time to practice it just mindlessly over and over until you can do it in your sleep. That said, Sam. Meanwhile, Mini Moldorm Cave with the 5 chest going pretty fantastically over in Death Mountain for kycats.
I mean, hookshot speed is basically the same as a hammer dash.
Yes. kycats attempting the bomb jump, being a little too high and a little too to the right.
Martakia in 1 item from go mode.
And now, we gotta find the Phantom Ryu item of destiny. Shoutouts to Phantom Ryu.
Also, as I notice, 1 crystal from Ganon's tower.
That is a big deal. Martakia going and taking the opportunity to go say hello to Senior Frog and saying, Buenos noches, Senior Frog. I can't do the R roll right now, apparently, for some reason. Nonetheless, they're about to go dancing in the night with Senior Frog through the hammer pegs before returning the breadsmith to its home.
Chat points out, this is one of those times that if you're Martakia, you do not want to see flippers.
Oh, that is a very, very good point. You do not want to find flippers at this point, and it was bombs. So we have a couple of possibilities. Possibility number 1. This is going to be a relatively smooth moment where they finally pick up the 1 Phantom Ryu item of destiny. Or we're going to see a trolley revelation. Oh, it's the Bloomerang! That definitely suggests they're gonna have to dive into Misery Mire.
Well, there is also Gary's Lunchbox.
There's Gary's Lunchbox. I forgot they have not checked the Mirror Cave over near Old Stumpy. I'm getting a little excited and a little ahead of myself, you're right. So there is this possibility it does come down to these 2 items, and in the meantime, kycats is going and tackling Tower of Hera after getting all the items necessary to not only go and tackle it, but to tackle it like a boss. Oh, forgetting to press A before going into the cave. And it's only got 3 bombs.
There's also a graveyard ledge to check.
Oh, you're right, graveyard ledge was not checked. That was a previous race, and that had 300 rupees. and... oh, it's a big 20. However, that said, with the mirror, they could have also checked Bombo's tablet. Yet another
No, they
item.
can't. They don't have the book.
You're right, they don't have the book. I kept thinking that since they had the mirror, they also had the book. My mistake.
And Martakia is heading almost certainly for Checkerboard Cave.
Right you are, and... judging by the way Misery Mire looked, it seems Misery Mire was already opened. And it's just 300 rupees. Oh, that is rough. That is rough. Deciding to flute away temporarily. At this point, having a moment to pause and think about where they want to go next. Because this could make a difference in what they don't realize is the lead that they have surpassed.
Meanwhile, kycats heads up to Troll Dorm.
And now we're going to be seeing if Troll Dorm does decide to troll hard. So far, close, being taken out of the charging state temporarily, but fortunately does not troll hard enough. We're going to have to see later on in Ganon's Tower if Troll Dorm 2 decides to troll harder. And a bumper cave check. Results say it is an entire heart container.
I don't know, knowing I have to do Turtle Rock, I might go after that heart container since I've only got 10.
Ooh, and with blue mail no less. That is a valid point.
But we've got a graveyard ledge check.
We do, and we're going to find out if the graveyard ledge actually has something this time, or if it's going to be 20 rupees yet again. Oh, kycats narrowly missing the invulnerability. Oh, it's Bombos. That's a thing. Wait a minute, Bombos was needed for Misery Mire. You're right. Not to cut you off when you were responding to me, but nonetheless, that is...
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, that is a valid point.
Perhaps Bombos into Mire, getting flippers, and needing to do either Ice Palace or Swamp Palace.
Ooh. Ooh. That could be... First, that'd be beautifully trolly. Second of all, that could very well be a possibility. Into Misery Mire we go. Let's see what happens. Oh, kycat's taking a dive. Make sure you got that F key ready to pay respects.
I believe that was an intentional death warp.
Oh, you are correct.
Because he does not have the mirror.
I definitely forgot that they did not pick up the mirror yet. Wait, that's... Where did we find mirror? I'm already losing track. My brain's going into randomizing my memory.
I believe it was in Dark World Death Mountain.
That would make sense. Okay. Cat's deciding to double check.
No, mirror was Mushroom.
Oh my goodness, that's right, and they haven't turned in the fetch quest yet. Oof. That is oh, that is...
And someone suggests... Someone in chat suggested Mire lead to Sarsaparilla. That's not possible because you would need the red cane to get to complete Mire.
Unfortunately so. And by completing Mire, you'd also have accessibility to Turtle Rock, and since you'd have everything else required for Turtle Rock, you wouldn't have to go anywhere else. Oh, if Myers does end up with flippers, that is going to be a terrible, terrible reaction we're going to get from at least one runner.
We may see some bombs dropped into that chest.
Oof, most likely. Cat's going up to get their half magic. Oh, missing the hookshot trick. And having to go back. Speaking of the hookshot, Martakia, that's gotta be Kane!
And we are in go mode on Martakia's side.
Oh, wow.
Vanilla Cane of Samaria.
That is not only unexpected, that... Is this even randomized?
And pure vanilla at that, because it was in Big Chest.
Yeah. Oh, that is, as said in chat, that is some pure vanilla extract.
And it looks like we are going to have Martakia picking up silver arrows.
To which I don't blame them, because why not make it easier on yourself?
Exactly.
Especially in a seed that was already looking to be Stoop's Jet, and they've had go mode at an hour 16.
Yeah, hour 16 go mode is crazy.
Yeah, it is. That is fantastic. That is luck of the draw with your seed. That is luck of the draw with pendant locations and item placement. That is not only uncommon, it's just a sight to behold.
Only one pendant dungeon required. Chet points out silvers were basically on the way, no reason not to pick them up. Agreed completely.
Ooh, and seeing one of the exact cases of how either, no, that was hookshot dash, or hookshot speed. How hookshot speed or spin speed could still be a little slower in the event that you don't have the right control over it. Martakia taking just a little extra time to make it almost the exact amount of time it took, or it would take to take it normally through the hammer sequence.
And Chet asks, is this even V26?
Pretty sure it's version 3.
To answer Chet's question, silvers are on top of Spectacle Rock.
Yes. Meanwhile, in the first chest in this dungeon, we find just a small key. No big deal. Oh, getting a laser shot right at your back does not sound like my idea of a fun time.
Martakia doing go mode Turtle Rock, which looks suspiciously like full clear Turtle Rock.
Why, you'd be correct, considering that thing is as linear as a straight line.
Also known as The Legend of Zelda Super Mario Brothers.
Oh yeah, The Legend of Super Mario. Yep. All those cameos thrown in there, it's like the first attempt at a Mario RPG. And there's the big key. And a second small key. They are immediately going to say hi to Brian and peace on out of that room with a good reason.
Cat's fake flippery.
Leading themselves over to the ledge and then going to see what the hobo under the bridge has? Nope. Going to
Island.
Zora? Yep, Zora check.
Zora.
Okay. I was going to feel very sad for them if they decided to go into Ice Palace at this very moment. Ooh. Getting hit. Oh! Chain Chomps showing their cameo side one more time. Press F to pay respects for Martakia. Fortunately, they weren't too far into the dungeon. That does make that a lot easier.
This is a really tough dungeon.
Absolutely.
I would still rather do Turtle Rock than Ice Palace.
Depends on the scenario for me, but I agree either way. One exception, if you don't have the boots and you're in Ice Palace, no thanks. That said, I don't blame either runner for taking any of the damage or hits or the trolling that they are currently, or Martakia is currently experiencing from the Chain Chomps. Oh my goodness! Press F to pay respect once again. I did not know this was Back to the Future. I can only imagine the frustration coming from having to die twice in a row to those Chain Chomps, especially at this point when you only can assume that your partner, or in this case, your competitor, there we go. Combatant didn't sound like the right word. Nonetheless, could be a second behind you or far further ahead. Getting some decent RNG this time from the Chain Chomps. Oh no! In the arms of an angel. Every day, Chain Chomps murder Lynx at 12 seconds per day. Okay, I don't have anywhere where that joke's going, but nonetheless, not only can you see, but you can only empathize with the amount of the troll jelly. Can we get some Bible thumps or angel thumps going in chat? This is that is painful. And there's yet another example of troll jelly showing up. Oof.
Oh. Oof. This is rough. This Turtle Rock is really rough.
This is words cannot express properly the amount of frustration one should have when getting bodied by Turtle Rock.
Seriously, Cats can... If Cats is finding the items the right way, he could catch up incredibly here.
Yeah, this does take the lead that Martakia had and diminishes it several times. Oh, the cruel irony of finding the cape in that chest. It has not surpassed or escaped us.
And the lack of powder will make the lower part of this dungeon much more difficult.
Right you are. Cat's finally heading over to put in for the fetch quest, going to be very relieved when they see that they can finally understand the concept of vanity. Oh, a couple of swipes showing that they were not pleased with that. To which I do not blame them. Getting bunny beamed into normal Link. Very, very interesting choice of sprite change. Oh, unfortunately activating the guards. Fortunately, that does not stop you from leaving the area, which includes heading to the blacksmiths. Martakia going to bypass the big chest and going straight over. An understandable tactic for go mode. Oh, Cat's really feeling the salt after receiving not much of value.
I'm not sure if I agree with that gamble on Martakia's side.
I don't think the game agrees with it either. And we finally see the wavy coin. Oof. Getting no respect from that rolling pin. And now we have the fire bar room, where you don't have to be in a room full of friends to get roasted. You can almost hear them making fun of the boots, going, "Link, I know you're not coming at me with those Italian bread loaves on your feet right now." Fortunately, they make it through the maze very effortlessly, without actually getting hit. And now the laser bridge room, pretty effortlessly not getting trolled by the Helmosaur.
And laser bridge room is why I don't necessarily agree with Gamble of skipping the big chest.
I absolutely agree. That could have been one key that they had that would have surpassed needing to deal with taking the extra damage, going through the frustration of having to use various items, extra menu time, extra MP usage, and extra death counter.
Because those lasers, even in red mail, those lasers still do a lot of damage.
Oh yeah, they are very frustrating. Oh, almost getting hit by that other laser, having the accidental, beautiful shot. Stepping outside for a hot moment. Going to do something... Oh, no. Going... Oh, wow, that is... Huh. Out of all the things I've seen in this tournament so far, I have to hand it to Martakia. I have not seen that strategy, and I have to hand it to them. That is surprisingly clever. Taking the moment right there to go and not only get a fairy, but have one in a safety bottle in the event that they get trolled even harder, considering how trolly that dungeon had already been. Hats off to them. That is some smart strategy.
That is very nice.
The only time something that's been similarly done was, I think, Priere in the main tournament, where they mirrored where I think it was the big chest was on the left side and not over to... I don't remember where it was, to be honest. But they basically they flew away from that spot in the light world to grab some potions, went up to the top of Death Mountain, and fell into that spot, presuming Turtle Rock.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh yeah. Definitely recommended to find that on a VOD, or on our YouTube somewhere. Shout out to our YouTube audience. Meanwhile, the Trinex fight is on. And quick work has been already made of the Firehead. And now, the Ice Head ended up getting even just as quickly demolished. And we are now on to the third phase of the Snake. Or technically you can call that the second phase.
Yeah, I just call it the Michael Bay boss.
You are not wrong.
5% plot, 95% explosions.
And once again we have the crystal, and that means, friends, we are now approaching that wonderful time where every time we have a race, it is absolutely customary within the Link to the Past Randomizer community to play a little game as we approach... Oh, someone already put it down. As we approach Ganon's Tower, we have 22 chests that we may end up opening before finding the big key. Feel free to take your guess in the location or how many chests you're going to be opening before seeing the big key. And by you, in this case, mean Martakia.
So, until it happens in a race that I'm doing commentary on, I will continue to guess tile room.
Ooh, we're getting a handful of tile rooms, handful of Bob's Torch. We're getting a couple of 1s. We're getting a 13 and a 15. We're getting some rando room in there. I'm going to... You know what? I'm also going to say tile room. Because this is a free seed. in V26 otherwise. We finally have literacy. We can finally take a look because it was in a book, Reading Rainbow. Did that actually just happened? I'm sitting here dumbstruck. Because right in the first chest, Martakia manages to pick up the big key. That is some next level 3 seed. You can only imagine after having such a horrible Turtle Rock. That only makes them feel a little better. Meanwhile, Cats is one dungeon away from discovering how quick the seed can get.
So those of you who chose 1 as your answer, you win. And
Yes.
what do they win, Glenn?
They won a free vacation to between their chair and their keyboard, or between their existing standing place in their shoes, or whatever they're standing on, and their phone or device that they are watching this stream on. That's right. You got the privilege of just standing there. Congratulations. kycats going to the Dark World in Kakariko, the Village of Outcasts?
Martakia through Cannonball Run and into the Gauntlet.
Oh, the Gauntlet has started. I see. With a couple of unknown variables in kycats' mind, they're likely going and checking Bumper Cave and a couple of other options before heading over to Turtle Rock. Oh, but wait. That's right. They don't have either Bombos or the cane, so they can't go into Turtle Rock. Oh.
Ooh.
Press F to pay respects. The pterodactyl is a rude boss? Sorry, rude enemy to have in your overworld. You know, when someone says bird toss and they get to be able to toss the bird, they're probably an obnoxious enemy. That lamb
beautiful Lambo fight with some silver arrows. Yeah, I agree with the comment in chat. Chain Chunk's true final boss.
I will agree. It's going to be interesting seeing how much of a hard time Cats is going to get. Bombo's finally being picked up. Very nice. Now they can finally head over to Misery Mire. Which I don't know if they know is required.
Well, he's checking King's... No, he's not checking King's Tomb.
In the meantime, Martakia getting through the fire room with just 1 heart. Or the torture room, sorry, not the fire room. Almost getting hit by lasers in the process. And because he has a key, he can just walk on by.
Nice Motown reference there, partner.
Thank you. Now, the interesting thing here, we do not have many hearts. However, it does seem Trolldorm decided to take a vacation in the form of this seed. Oh! little bit of luck.
Almost.
Almost indeed, Martakia nearly going off that edge if it weren't for the fact they were still mid-swing. Oh,
And
giving
skips the
disrespect.
validation chest.
The disrespect for ignoring the Dairy Queen, the DQ, the validation chest. After having such a free seed, it's only rude. However, to be fair, they're probably terrified that they're being super behind at this point, considering they died how many times to those chain chomps? That's probably sitting in their mind. It would be a thing. That's definitely something you don't want to experience during a tournament, never mind a normal run. Having a really clean RNG. Yeah. The placement on there was convenient. Now we're going to see Swag Duck make its only appearance in the Dark World because it does whatever it wants and doesn't get controlled by you.
Now the question is, will Martakia go? Martakia goes directly into the Ganon fight.
Oh, this is I'm not surprised, but that does take a bit of gall. You have to have some intestinal fortitude. You have to have some guts. And a magic cape helps too.
And Ganon making like he's in the police.
And making sure you don't stand so close to him?
Yes.
Absolutely. Also, a great reference to be found in the text that Ganon occasionally mentions. And a very, very useful green potion being utilized.
And Martakia into phase 3 of the Ganon fight.
Absolutely. kycats going through the world tour, only to find out that there was 3 bombs in the Mirror Cave. At this point, they're probably wondering where they go next, and hopefully they hit up Misery Mire. Confirming they had nothing left. Oh! Martakia getting hit by the fire bat at the last second. Oh, right, but they picked up a fairy. That is a very solid decision that has come back. Oh, but they did miss the fire glitch. You hate to see that. Fortunately, with silver arrows and half magic, that is nowhere near as bad as it could have been. Oh, trying to get the fancy triple shot off, but missing the first arrow shot. Oh no!
Still gets his double butt, falls down.
How the mighty have fallen. Martakia is not going to be happy after that one. To which I do not blame them. Picking up a fairy for good measure, as we saw earlier, even seconds ago, arguably. That was definitely a very wise strategy to have when you are not used to being able to equip a jar in time. Oh, giving Ganon a hug and falling down. Fortunately, the fairy is going to pay off once again. And as we are in phase 2 for Ganon, kycats gets catfished.
Cat's heading towards Mire, making the right play.
Martakia, in the meantime, getting the city tour with Ganon. Ooh. Although kycats is getting bodied by the pterodactyl.
There's a reason that I've heard those referred to primarily as murderdactyls.
Oh, you are correct. They are obnoxious. Oh, Martakia unfortunately just barely missing the fire glitch once again, but again, not a problem. Also trying to get the double hit, but getting a little too close to the wall at the time, proving to not be as an effective method of being able to get the double hit off. Since when Ganon's at the wall, it basically calculates damage like it does with Mothiel against spikes. However, all that is for no major worry, because suddenly Martakia had all of them taken down.
Martakia wins with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 30 seconds.
And what a fantastic seed that was. Whew. I have to hand it to him.
Beautiful seed, and that
Absolutely.
I would be interested to know some of what was going through Martakia's thought process.
Why, so would I. In fact, let's see if Martakia wants to get on a post-interview. In fact, let me make sure he's not in the waiting room as we speak, so I'll go double-check. Meanwhile, Ivy Cats heading through Misery Mire, going and finding soon enough that big key, and then they are going to end up getting the cane and immediately jumping out to go tackle Turtle Rock, and that is going to be the question of the day. How much of a troll will Turtle Rock be?
Although he is very low on health.
And with that, we see, once again, the red background. And after taking a moment to stretch their legs and just wind down after being super hyped up about that race, Martakia will be in chat.
Okay, Cat's heading through the this first Wizrobe room.
Absolutely, and fun fact about that room, did you know that room is obnoxious? It's also possible.
I did know that room is obnoxious.
It's also possible to one-cycle it. It involves the fire rod, the dash boots, and a lot of finesse.
I have seen it one-cycled.
As have I, and it is a beautiful sight. And even more impressive when you finally see someone learn it. Something that I myself have yet to do, but hope to see any of you that pick up a chance to be in one of these races, or maybe race or play this game casually, learn to do for your own sense of adventurous fun. There's something very, very satisfying about being able to go through an obnoxious room with just the greatest of ease.
Yes, there certainly is. Chad asks if there's another race after this. No, this is the last race for tonight, but there will be plenty more races tomorrow, starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
Ooh, and we have quite an amount of excellent races coming up, too, when it comes to tomorrow. We've got Oyster SA versus Vasco Spot. It appears we have Bamboo Shadow and Signums. We have Doo-Doo-Dude and Cool Pants Guy, Jesus the Frog and Lord of the Synth, Infinite Fluff and Nemagius,
Adirondack Rick and JLo7.
Yes. And Hazukitty with Sabotender. And those are just the ones that have notification of any sort of restream.
kycats gets his big key.
Excellent. Oh, and they are going and making the check for... Oh, no, I see what they're doing. Nope, I was wrong. They are going through what may be a full clear. And I believe I just heard what popped in. Yes, everyone, please welcome Martakia into the chat. Martakia, how are you after that race?
A little mad at myself. Screw those chomps. I hear from my friend Hiei that everyone was paying respects with F.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you for that. But man, you know, I'm happy that I won. I'm a little mad at myself because I know I could have done better. I feel like I could have gotten like a 130, but you know, we take the win.
Absolutely. And to be honest, when it came to all of that, sure, it was frustrating, but a lot of that was luck of the draw, and Chain Chomp got RNG.
Jesus, I got blocked so hard, like the second time in that room, they both came down at me. What was I supposed to do?
Oh no, you got the full welcoming treatment, and that is not a welcoming treatment you want to experience. I was empathizing pretty hard internally. Oh,
that was a rough Chain Chomp room.
yeah, it was. Oh, felt for you so hard. I even started doing the in the arms of an angel ASPCA joke. Oh, seriously, wow. Hats off to you for being able to take care of that and then keep on going through.
Thank you.
Without somehow managing to, like, jump kick the universe.
I took out a little bit of frustration on Trinex there. You saw me slashing that head after he died. But
oh, absolutely.
I took it after that. I took it a little safe in Turtle Rock and just picked up the fairies because I knew I only had 10 hearts, so I knew I was gonna either take damage in the gauntlet or I was gonna need it on Ganon or something, just as a precaution. But
and Cat's heading over to check Big Chest in Misery Mire.
Oh yes, excellent.
To get his cane and to be into go mode.
And we will find out once and for all if the RNG is going to be just as cruel. But as I was going to say, because obviously that's important to mention. Ooh, train of thought. Shiny ball syndromes. So fun. Anyways, sorry, back on point. Having those fairies was actually, as we saw, a very solid strategy, not only for your own comfort level, but also for the fact that who knows what could have happened with the rest of those events when it came to, say, Ganon's Tower, which ended up being a lot more nicer than anything.
yeah, it was pretty reasonable. I feel like I did okay. I messed up a little bit on the conveyor belt rooms, but otherwise I felt like just the RNG pathing of the Stalfos and all the monsters along the way were pretty good for me.
Yeah, definitely. And that was a clean one-cycle Landmolus as well.
Oh yeah, I was really happy with that because about an hour before the race I'd been practicing all the boss fights, quick kills, and everything, so I'm really happy that I was able to pull that off.
It shows, especially since, besides that, Mothra, as I like to call it, even though it's Mothula.
Oh, I do the same, because kaiju movies.
Absolutely. Mothula, though, surprisingly quick for the amount of, like, hassle that area gave you.
Thank you. Yeah,
And Cat's choosing not to go up and get the silver arrows on top of Spectacle Rock.
Interesting. Definitely interesting. Especially since at this time, it might be easier on them. That, or maybe they think they can go around and then get them, which, as they will find out soon enough, that is not the case.
Yeah, with the Mothula fight, I was playing it patient. I knew I had the B if I really needed it, but...
The base B Torp strat?
Definitely. But I disregarded the initial hit that you can get with the boots if you just charge into Mothula, and I just wanted to be really careful with like my pathing and stuff because you never know with the spikes.
Absolutely. And with the floor moving, that's
Mhm.
just multiple layers of RNG working against your favor. You did pretty well with that, so kudos.
The only thing that kind of bottlenecked me was Bombos, but once I found that, I got back on track, which I'm pretty happy about.
Yeah, there was surprisingly little bottleneck throughout the majority of this seed.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for
So-
holding this race. I appreciate it. But
Hey,
go ahead,
not a
continue.
problem.
Sorry.
So a quick question to you: at what point did you figure out you were ahead?
I don't really assume I am. I I hold myself a little bit to a higher standard, at least to like how I feel like I can play. Honestly, I felt like I should have been behind once I started dying to the chomps and things like that. I never really felt like I was ahead, but I just kept telling myself to go and path according to the items that I had and focus on the dungeons and just do the overworld along the way. And that mostly paid off.
Yeah, it really did.
Well, that seems to be the V26 mantra: is do the dungeons, concentrate on the dungeons, and get the overworld as you can.
Yeah, for sure.
With the exception of that one fetch quest mirror.
Yeah, I was actually planning on doing that a lot earlier, but I got sidetracked by the flute because I decided to fake flippers into the waterfall fairy, grab those and do Zora. I was
Yep.
actually planning on doing it before, and then I just completely forgot about it for
It
like a
happens
good
to
10
all of
minutes.
us.
I mean, it paid off a little bit because I ended up going into Skullwoods and got hookshot out of it, but
absolutely.
and the net, which helped later on. But beyond
Naturally.
that, yeah, beyond that, I just once I felt like I had nothing to do, I just remembered that I had a couple like Ice Rock Cave and Agna and the Mushroom Fetch quest to check to see if I could get something that would help me.
And once again, I'll say, be sure to give these runners a follow. They certainly deserve it.
Oh, absolutely.
But
As
yeah,
I've been saying in the past with others, and this one with no exception, all of these racers have been busting their butts not only to make sure to get this done as quick as possible, but to give you an entertaining race nonetheless. So make sure to give them a follow on Twitter, on Twitch, social media as well if they prefer, or if
I
you
mean,
prefer.
I'll take a follow on Twitter. It's the same name as my Twitch. I
There you
appreciate
go.
that. But I just want to give a couple thanks to some people that helped me get into Rando real quick, if that's okay.
Oh, absolutely. Go for it.
Absolutely.
I really want to give a special shout out to both Hiei and Kyle. Hiei being one of the tournament like secondary admins and helping with head of commentary and everything. We often did a lot of co-op seeds together, which just helped with me getting into the rhythm of things, and it was a lot of fun just playing with him. So he's a pretty good friend. I appreciate it a lot. And Kyle, just because I would watch him a lot late at night when I have a little bit of a sleeping problem, and that was just a great way to learn too. And also Andy and Christos, because honestly, they are both amazing at this game. And Ben, I watch all three of them a lot, and it just helps to see the minds and how others decide to path and see how that can help you.
Absolutely. And to relate, I understand what you mean because I watch a lot of those people as well, and it has definitely helped improve me on my own. I'm not that great, but still, I went from garbage to at least acceptable. So, by all means, kudos to them, and frankly, also the community, but also them for
Yeah,
being
and,
there,
yeah.
for being open, and just being awesome.
Yeah, I don't mean to be selective, but like these people helped me a lot just by playing and talking to me, and I also just thank the community in general because a lot of them almost everyone is welcoming and everyone's great. So
Oh, absolutely.
shout outs to everyone. High five to everyone in chat.
Also a very good point. No, but I didn't mean to suggest you were seeming selective. I
No, of
definitely
course,
understood
I know.
what you mean.
I know. But yeah,
And Martakia, good luck to you for the rest of the tournament.
definitely. I am looking out for Ice Blue. He's currently undefeated in my group, and I definitely want to give him his first loss.
Oh, snap. You heard it first.
So, anyway, thank you very much. I'm going to head out. It's definitely getting a little late. I'll watch the rest on Randomizer Mania, and I'll be in chat if anyone wants to talk.
Sounds good. See you around. Good game, and talk to you later.
All right, bye-bye. Thank you again.
That was Martakia, the winner of our race tonight.
Martakia on Twitch, but also make sure to be following all of the Randomizer channels. That is Randomizer Mania, Randomizer Mania 2 through 4, Speed Gaming,
And Speed Gaming 2 through 4 as well.
no matter how trolly they get. Ooh, kycats, not having fun with the roller either, although, as we have seen, than they do with the chain chomps. Oh no, but they don't have a key. Ooh, that is... you gotta hate that feeling. Oh, thinking it's in the pokey. Unfortunately, that's only a one-time trick. Fortunately, kycats remembers that room is for naught. Avoiding the
But
little
it
dust
means
sprites.
he has to go back to the chain chomp room.
Oh, right you are.
Or the big key chest.
That is true. That is all their next move, whatever they decide it to be. Grabbing a heart, grabbing nothing, grabbing some magic, and they're making a go for it. Or not.
That's right. As chat points out, the chain chomp room was cape.
Absolutely, it was indeed. They're going to find a very, very rude moment, unless they decide, oh no, they didn't go into the other side for the key with that pokey. Ooh, unfortunate. We also would have saw what the vanilla big key chest had in it. Ooh, and get ready for internal frustration in... oh, never mind. Press F to pay respects. Chain Chomps finally claimed a victim. The tournament winner, everybody, is actually the Chain Chomp room.
Well, chain chomp's true final boss.
There's the swipes.
In all seriousness, the chain chomps are terrible.
Oh, I still get bodied by them. There's a reason I empathize. I'm still having my own frustrating time with them every time. So, the moment someone ends up going and taking a dive, oh, you can only feel for them. Once again, pressing F to pay respects. Oof. Ooh, once again, the swipes of fury.
Those chain chomps are a rough bunch of enemies. This is a tough dungeon to begin with.
It really is. Because this dungeon, mind you, was designed to make blue mail seem less and less effective the more you progress through it.
I didn't know that, but it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it would at first, but then the further you get in, you've already gone through a couple of rollers, you've gone through the chain chomps, you go through the fire bars, you go through the lasers, and that seems a more rough side of it. Oh, and they pick up the cape. Oh. That is a feeling you don't want to experience. Now they gotta go to the other room, pick up that other key.
Although I will say that kycats eventually used the strategy I use in that room, which is to use the red boomerang.
That is actually a solid strategy, Because unlike the Cane of Samaria, the red boomerang just goes, and you don't have to worry about it getting invalidated by the chomps. And that's unlimited versus limited magic. Ooh, getting hit by the anti-fairies and the bunny beam. Ooh. Going and topping off their health before continuing onward.
Because he did pick up two blue potions before he came in here.
Never a bad strategy, especially for when you are not entirely comfortable with doing this with minimal resources. Oh. And going to give the skull a hug did not prove to be of sound strategy. Very unfortunate considering they were close to getting that key and having their problem immediately washed away. With the lack of Fury swipes, you can only imagine the salt levels rising for KY Cats. Fortunately enough, not getting bodied by the jellies, as seen when, unfortunately, Martakia had to experience getting bodied by jellies. That is never a fun experience.
Well, it's never fun getting bodied by anything, but especially those jellies that are completely...
could be out of your way, and then float there and just stay there, and then electrocute you when you go to swipe at them. And then you fall off the platform. It's just a domino effect of garbage.
Exactly.
The solid Fire Cane strat coming out. And with the key they have in hand, they can finally progress and not have to worry about having to go through another chain chomp room. Because let's face it, that is never something you want to experience. Ooh. Getting hit by the Pokey Aftermath. The Pokey Aftermath now being the name of my video game cover band. Picking up a little bit of extra magic. Thank you. And now cats can finally get through the roller area without any hassle. Well, with minimal hassle. I did forget that the roller does stop boomerangs.
Yes, the roller does invalidate the boomerang, but...
Fortunately, minus the laser room, this is going to be the end of the major hassle before getting to Trinex. Oh, an interesting attempt to go through the routing for the maze, but unfortunately not picking it up in time. Oh, wait, no, I see what they did. I got ahead of myself as well as them. They ended up not going to the middle section first. Ooh. And very nicely. Oh, go ahead.
A workable strategy in this room with the fire bars is to use the hook shot.
Oh, that's
when you're about to get hit.
I completely forget about the hookshot being a valid strategy to avoid getting firebar damage in this room. Because I'm so used to having to keep the Cane of Samaria on, thinking it needed to be out to be active. But in this state, it is already active until you use it again, and you can go to other items. The exception being if you get a little too far away.
Right. Which is why you can't use Cane of Samaria in the statue pole room in Swamp Palace.
Yup. That is never fun to find out the hard way, but you never forget it afterwards. Just charging through that mini Helmosaur only to accidentally fall down. Gotta feel for that.
And Eye Bridge room.
Let's go. Oh, overcompensating a couple of pixels too high. Attempting the mirror shield strat the wrong way? With the fire shield. Then remembering they have the cape. Excellent, excellent. And now they can immediately just piece out of there unless... Nope, they are going for the safety strat. Oh, trying to bonk through it to no avail. Oh no, don't get killed by this. Not like this, not like this. Okay, going through the safety strat of making sure they're in the barrier. Whew. I would have felt... I don't know how bad I could have felt. Because...
That would have been terrible.
It would have been literally
terrible.
beyond words.
Yes, I would. I'm with you. I would have no words for that.
It would have just been a bunch of despondent disbelief and equal amounts of empathy. Fortunately, Mini Helmosaur with the A+ RNG, dropping that fairy when he needed it the most.
10 of 10 would kill that monster again.
Absolutely. Going to be very relieved to pick up yet another heart as well as that full ball of magic. Going with the proper utilization of your magic before refilling it. Very smart move. And now, we have the moment we've been hoping for. We have the try next fight. Oh, almost getting that third hit off. Aw, Ice Helmosaur dropped lag all over the floor. And down they go. kycats not realizing they can't press start in the middle of the sequence. I'm presuming it's because Michael Bay paid too much to watch it have happen. Oh no! But without a potion or a fairy, down goes Gravedigger.
But that is why you get the safety door.
Absolutely. That safety door has saved so much hassle from so many people that it's a wonder why more people haven't actually considered using it. The Pokey generously dropping a heart. Oh, falling off the cliff though. That definitely negates the heart. And once again, we have the dramatic cutscene, quote unquote.
Well, if you think that the race is that close that you'll lose if you don't do it,
that is true. When you feel like a race is that close, you never want to not take that strategy, because you don't want to end up messing up or having some bad luck and then finding out you just lost at a significant amount of time.
well, see, I was referring to the other way, where you are so confident on your Trinex fight that you know you're not going to die in it, or that you're almost sure you're not going to die in it, and you think the race is so close that taking the time to the safety door will cause you to lose.
That is actually a valid point as well.
And we have a forfeit from kycats86.
Oh,
We have a dot quit in chat.
can we get a collective press Fs to pay respects? Oh, gotta empathize what I just said to kycats in IRC. I definitely had my share of frustration with Turtle Rock in the past, so I could definitely empathize and understand. Also, their mic is apparently not working. Which is unfortunate, but nonetheless, gotta make sure give as much credit and respect as possible, because it is also a really difficult thing with just having to admit that you have to take the moment to realize you need to get out of it, because it's gonna take a significant amount of time and it might just be a little too much for you to handle. Nonetheless, as we're seeing in chat, make sure to do all of our racers a favor and give them a follow over on Twitch, because you never know when you're going to end up finding one of your next favorite runners or your next favorite streamers. Make sure to also give a lot of love and credit out and thanks to our restreamer, which is, in this case, unless I'm horribly mistaken, Alvi's TV, and also our tracker that happens to be Dark Shadows 59. And also, make sure to give a follow on Twitch to my co-commentator, who's been absolutely fantastic this entire time, with a lot of really solid references to help make this just go even a little more entertaining for all of you.
And also make sure to give my partner Glenty a follow on Twitch, because his commentary has been on point the whole race.
Thank you very much. Yours was also quite fantastic as well. Not to seem like we're just patting each other on the back, but nonetheless.
Why, thank you, sir. I have been DM Stewart 1981.
And hi, I'm Glenty. Would like to remind you to follow Randomizer 1 through 4, or Randomizer Mania 1 through 4, as well as Speed Gaming 1 through 4 on Twitch. Shoutouts to our YouTube audience, and we will see you later.
Good night, everybody.